buying petrol. And it has gotten to a stage where you yourself just like, I can only afford to have off-fuel my generator temporarily until the electricity is back. But if you do not have electricity for 2 weeks, you probably will be already out of your running costs. And if you are unable to power your cold room for 2-3 days, that's it. And this is plausible. It's an argument that is actually like a plausible to say, oh, I didn't think of that. It's not about having generator anymore. Things have gotten so bad that even businesses that operate on generators are folding up. Like they are just folding up to say, well, you know what? Until we find another alternative of power, so we can't continue this business anymore. A situation where you have to kind of spend over 40,000 naira every day. But there's a stretch you can go. Just there's distance you can go. And this is what the situation is in northern Nigeria. And they are making videos to show to the rest of Nigeria that, man, schools, hospitals, there are hospitals where some certain things have to be, you must have electricity to preserve them. There are some medications, there are some drugs that you need electricity to preserve them. Now, most of these things are going bad. So according to them as well, when their governors met, when they met today, as well as their royal fathers, they believe that the cost of living as well, a bag of rice in northern part of Nigeria is now being reported to be over 1,000, over 130,000 naira. Remember that time where the Nigetia used to threaten the southern part of Nigeria of food blockade if we make laws to stop the Fulani and their cows moving into our farms and all that in the southern part of Nigeria. Remember that food blockade? But there is not even food now to feed anybody because no one can really afford any real food anymore in northern Nigeria. I remember when Niger State said they were growing food, they were growing this, they were growing that, and they had trucks. And they even said that all the traders from southern part of Nigeria would not be sold any food anymore, right? Because they needed the food in their own place to subsidize the food or sell the food at 50% discount and all that stuff. But I realize all that is still unable to save them. Hunger in northern part of Nigeria right now is unbelievable. Like, we've always been kind of aware of the level of poverty in northern part of Nigeria, but this time around it's unbearable. It's unbelievable. But there are criminal politicians who met today. They are asking Tinubu to do something. What do you think he would do? Send them rice, Abi? That's the most Tinubu can do. So he called his Minister of Power as well as Ribadol today. And here is what Peculiar Mess had to say, Peculiar Mess.
My meeting with Mr. President, among various other things, included the issue of the disturbance in electric supply to the northern part of Nigeria, about 17 states. We discussed the root cause of this, which was basically due to vandalization of the transmission lines of a Shiroro-Kaduna line, which is the major line that supply electricity to the north. And the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, they already set out to fix this line. What they have asked for, which has been provided to them now, is the security cover of the National Security Advisor through the Chief of Army Staff and Chief of Air Staff to enable them restore the damaged lines. And we're optimistic that very soon this will be fully restored. We have also explored the alternative line of providing light to the north through the Iko-Tepene substation supplied from the Calabar plant, but the line got caught along the line, and we're also trying to fix that. And if you remember that at the last FEC, one of the approvals for the Ministry of Power was actually the upgrade of the Shiroro-Kaduna transmission line, which is the major line that supplies electricity to the northern part of the country. We already have approval for this. It's one of the oldest transmission lines that we have in Nigeria, and we believe that it required an upgrade. And through the magnanimity of the Mr. President and the Federal Executive Council, we got an approval to fix the line on a permanent basis. Once this is done, I believe that power to the north will be more stable than we're experiencing right now. But before I end this, let me also state that the world is moving. This is the 21st century, and we believe that the most effective way of supplying uninterrupted, functional, stable, and reliable electricity to the northern part of Nigeria is through our distributed power model, whereby each of the northern states will have an embedded utility solar scale solar source. All the 20 states will be insulated and immune from each other. Once we have, and we have actually made progress in this, as we have interested contractors and financiers that are ready to install 100 megawatts each for each of the 20 northern states, which is scalable to 50 megawatts at first, then upgraded to 100 megawatts. When we have this, the power supply to the north will be reliable because of the advantage of sun that they have, where solar will be highly effective. The lowest number of hours that a state in the north enjoy in terms of sunshine is 10 hours.
This is what they say to people when they are lying to them. Okay? It is like somebody like me saying, oh, now that there is no electricity in northern Nigeria, I think this is the time they have to use solar. We need to explore alternative energy. Okay? We need to tap from the sun and generate electricity in another way. Because see, all this Shiroro-Kaduna line destroyed by the Boko Haram terrorists. So we are having problem with that. So I think it's, meanwhile, I'm the Minister of Power. I have been there for more than a year as minister, okay? I didn't explore the alternative energy for that 1 year. But now that they've not had electricity for 2 weeks, so to sound like I am intelligent, I can now tell you that, I mean, it's time, the world is moving on. So we need to invest in alternative energy so that, you see, we can tap from the sun. Can you believe that in northern Nigeria, they have 10 hours of sun every day? Yes. I said, oh, really? Did they? Yeah. So right now, we are trying to, we are trying to give each state 100 megawatts. Yes, 100 megawatts of solar energy. Where is that? In which state? Yeah, 100. That's 2,000 megawatts. We are already talking to some investors that are going to give them 100 megawatts. You don't know. There is no investor building any 1 megawatt or anywhere. But you quickly have to add that. Before Mr. President has approved, and yeah, when are you going to now give them the, because that should be like 2,000 megawatts for northern Nigeria. That alone will probably give them 24 hours electricity. So tell us, which states have you started building this megawatts of solar energy? No, we're talking to some, we will make sure, that alone, we insulate the northern Nigeria from all this issue of electricity. And I said, how come you haven't done it? How come? If you have not completed it, have you started it? And where are you right now? All talks. But yeah, we're trying to get a Kotekpene power plant to transfer that to the north. But unfortunately, that one also cuts. The line cuts. There is no power for you in northern Nigeria. If you are watching me from the north, there is no electricity for you. with Tifnumbu and that peculiar mess, Penkele mess, you are likely going to still be out of power for the next 1 month. Things are going to. Somebody said that, oh, Mayegun, you are talking about the cold room for frozen food. What about mortuaries? Mortuaries where they keep dead body. You go soon they see some of them. They go they ask you to come and carry your dead body to bury right now. I don't think there are probably many mortuaries in northern part of Nigeria, but there will be some because of the what do you call it, the Christians and other religions that are not Muslim. Because if you're a Muslim, if it's in northern Nigeria is a place where you don't play with fainting. If you go faint for northern Nigeria, they go bury you. If anybody say, oh, now faint, you never die, oh. In northern Nigeria is a place where if you are a Muslim and you go faint because you are hungry, you go faint, they go believe say you are dead, they go bury you before 12 noon. So they won't use burial ground. They don't use a mortuary. I don't think that's very popular. But for other religions, right, who probably embalm their own, corpses and all that. So that makes sense. So the whole thing cut across. Right now, some of them are now on social media telling us that they regret believing in the Muslim tickets. Some are even saying that it's like a Tifnumbu hates them so much. And I'm like, oh, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. You just have to believe in him, no matter what. You just have to keep believing that whatever this is, it is just a baby step or a bump along the line. Or you can continue to thank God that an infidel is not your president in that place as it is. I empathize. I really do. I empathize with a lot of people there who possibly did their best to reject this their evil Muslim ticket that never really going to serve anybody. I empathize with you. But for these two, this one don't go report say in plane, you don't get fought. Shitty man. Okay. Need another plane. Oh. Need another plane. Oh. My life is at risk. Oh. I need another plane. That's what Shitty man was telling Tifnumbu there. My own illustration or my own, by reading their lips. That's what he's saying. Okay. I need another plane. Ashiwaju. My life is at risk. My plane, there's problem in New York. I need another one. As long as you see the two, whatever your problem is in northern Nigeria, I am just going to say you will need to be patient. Yeah, you need to exercise patience so that, and then for your criminal political leaders, they are about to politicize it. And some people are saying, we will not let them do that. This Tifnumbu and it's a shege that you killed people for, you attacked people for, you threaten a lot of people for, right? You will enjoy it to the fullest. So from my own findings, right, even though Rebadol and then this peculiar mess, the two of them said they met, and the only problem is to provide security for the people that are the engineers that are supposed to come and fix the power line. So it will take them 5 days. So if they succeed, you may partially have electricity in some part of northern Nigeria, but not everywhere. But if that get delayed in a typical way, it may last for another 1 month. You may not see electricity. And somebody said, well, that is going to be the stroke that is going to break the camel's back. And I am like, well, we shall see if it is going to break anything at all. It's probably going to be the neck of the Momo ticket proponents, right? So let's leave that for now. Now, yesterday, the news of the death of Igoja in Enugu, killed by this police officer. Now, his killer has been arrested. He has been dismissed. According to the police reports, this officer, Inspector Ozone Waji Joseph, that's the name of this guy, that shot Igoja 8 times in the back after he was invited to come and perform for the anti-cultist policemen in Enugu. And we also have the record of his last performance for these police officers in Enugu. So he initially claimed that the shooting was an accidental discharge. But the police have found out that, no, this is not accidental discharge. Accidental discharge means you shot him maybe once, fatally. But you shot him 8 times. That can be accidental. So he has now been dismissed from the police force, so as for them to release him for trial, which is going to be murder trial. He's now going to be tried for murder. It was just last moments before his death. It's this. To remind you, that was him at the police headquarters in Enugu, where he was invited to perform for these police officers. Everything was fine. There was no reason for any form of shooting or what have you. But he got killed moments later. That was his last performance. Moments later, he was fatally shot 8 times. Today, he is no more. But the Enugu state governments have sort of also taken it upon themselves to adopt his children. So a delegation was sent to his family house today to inform them of the position of the government and the governor, or the position of the governor and the government, briefly.
First of all, what happened to our brother, Nigetia, happened to every indigene of Enugu State. And because our governor, feelings of other persons, he has sent me here this morning to make some presentations to you people. Number one, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Enugu State, Dr. Peter Ndubisimba, has, in his magnanimity, he had awarded scholarship to the children of Iboja to university level. Secondly, the state is going to take care of the welfare of Mrs. Iboja going forward. So when we are done here, and also this is a serious calamity to everybody who loves Enugu State and who is an indigene of Enugu State. I know that the government of Enugu State is on top of the matter, and they are going to make sure that justice prevails in this matter.
So that's supposed to be the representatives of the Enugu State government. Right. Remember what happened this afternoon? Yeah, when Alex, what's his name again? Yeah, Alex, the honorable guy that beat up the boat driver, or the boat delivery guy, last night, and then he had him arrested until this got escalated. So the news later was that he has been arrested, or we later found out that no, he wasn't. In fact, just as I predicted, they started the media spin and then the media support to spin the story in his favor. We have started seeing people who are telling us that the driver provoked him. He provoked him. In fact, there is a particular one that said the only hardworking House of Representative member from Abia State is this guy, Alex Mascot. That some bad Pele people set him up. We saw the video. I mean, we saw where he was assaulting this driver. But they are now changing the story to the driver provoked him. Okay? And it is because they wanted to destroy him. Another one was that, oh, he was the guy, one of those that opposed the Samoa Agreement. You remember that Samoa Agreement? Yeah, that one that was like Nigeria would have to allow homosexuals and all of that stuff. Remember? They said because he opposed the Samoa Agreement, that is why they set him up. I was like, what is really going on? Yeah, it is the typical Nigerians. So his statement during the debate on the Samoa deal or Samoa agreement is to be replayed here. Listen.
Nigetia. And I represent the artisanal people of Aba North and Aba South in this incorruptible assembly. Mr. Speaker, I would like to speak very briefly about some of the contents of this Samoa agreement. Mr. Speaker, this agreement has certain clauses